Hello, and thank you for listening to the theory of creativity's the theory of population today. I don't know why I couldn't
You
think of it.
forgot.
Yeah, it's like a stroke I just had. So we have four more of these the theory of podcasts before we fully decide to switch
Whoa,
to
you keep going on about this fully switching. No, 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 no.
ah
We're on indefinite hiatus for the theory of.
right.
Yeah.
I will.
You
Maybe I'm
really
just
you really
really.
want to get rid of it,
I'm
don't
just
you?
so excited. I really like what we do with MSG. I mean, this one's just kind of like a get together. It feels like we haven't really had on guests recently, and it's just like, I mean, it's fun, but we have no idea about population. I'm kind of going in it blindly,
Well, speak for yourself. I did some accidental research, so
accidentally.
yeah, really, I wasn't even. I found some information I wasn't even really looking for, and
Well, share it with us, Garrison.
right,
Enlighten me
yeah.
on population.
Well, we can sort of, segue into that, but for now, so yes, so you don't have any thoughts on the matter of
I mean, I
population?
do, but like I feel like such a snob every time I bring up what I'm studying in school. So I'm just gonna kind of listen to what you have to say.
Um, yeah, we people should be more conscious of ourselves, and I know that's easier said than done. Like it's very hard to do so because, you know, when we were, uh, hunter gath hunter gatherers and foraging and stuff for food and shelter.
Which, hold on, can I add something real quick? Was not that long ago in the history of the planet. Like the Earth was created 4.5 billion years ago, and humans have only inhabited it for like maybe what 22.5 million years.
Really, that long? I,
Yeah.
I thought it was
But this is like within the realm of
like humanoid.
human
Yeah.
evolution.
Okay.
This is like, I mean, it takes a long time to evolve into what we have become.
Yeah.
Uh,
This may not even be our final form.
no, I don't think so. Robots.
Hmm. That's one way to look at it. Um, but yeah. Before I was so rudely interrupted, I
Okay.
uh right, because we sort of lived day by day, oftentimes, and we didn't have the luxury of being so complacent about certain things. So really, what I'm getting at is that our day by day survival was our imperative. So we really didn't think in the long term about certain things, but now we kind of have to because the implications of not doing so are drastic and can change the earth really.
Changed our lives as we know it.
Yeah, because we, you know, technology has advanced so much. We didn't have the opportunity to knock out the electrical grid and send us back hundreds of years or wipe out entire nations with nuclear weaponry and like just kill thousands of people with
The
guns
push of a
and
button.
yeah.
It's quite devastating, honestly. Like, we shouldn't have that much power.
We're too nearsighted, man. It's really a problem. I mean, sure, it's helped us get this far, but it could be our ultimate undoing, really.
Yeah. But, I feel like there's a lot of people that are understanding of what's going on in the world. Maybe not enough, but there's a lot of them.
Not enough. Yeah, not enough.
Yeah.
I mean, someone can know that something's wrong, but they don't have the power or influence to actually make a noticeable difference.
Yeah, like even Al Gore, even though he is an ex-vice president, yeah, he just, he kind of people laugh at him because of the stuff that he does, and he does some pretty important stuff, trying to educate people on climate change and what's going on with the world and why it's so important to be aware of how we, not as individuals, but as a populace, make so many devastating footprints on this planet. And we only have one planet so far until we go to Mars.
Yeah, yeah. I think our best shot is, to be put in a simulation.
So that way we just don't like we can live in like a dream like state for the rest of our
Well,
bodily lives, and then our like metaphysical life is really just endless and blissful.
right. I mentioned this a while back. Like, what if we are in the midst of like a nuclear strike or the heat death of our solar system? What if we are just in a simulation now that lets us live thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of lifetimes before we'll actually feel like, before we'll actually be wiped away.
So it's like we're actually milliseconds away from death.
Yes, but we're experiencing years and years.
Yep, that's what you were going on about that Facebook post you gave to me the other day, wasn't it?
No,
No. Okay.
not really, but I think it's relevant. Like, it's the same basic principle.
It's that whole DMT thing, like you experience your entire life in the last 7 minutes of your death, because that's how long your brain is still active when your organs are shutting down.
But what? Okay, yes. So you were wondering about like the accidental research.
Yes, let's hear it.
Okay, so I totally forget the researcher's name. Calhoun. The researcher's name was Calhoun. He did some research on some mice, and what he did was he gave the mice population an overabundance of food, and he put a lot of them in a small space, like many mice in a small space, and with food not being, or with hunger not being a factor, the mice did breed some, but over time the male population became more submissive and like timid like, and the women became like more dominant and actually began raping the males. Yeah, so they kind of became like more dominant, and like the theory is that like an overabundance of testosterone or estrogen to your stimuli can actually confuse your hormones, your biology by overstimulating it, but basically telling your body that this is not suitable mating conditions, because it's overpopulated, which you can actually see in the Japanese population. In the next, this is no secret, you can pretty much find this anywhere, but in the next 50 years, more than half of their population will be over 70, because no one's breeding. They are pretty ambivalent about the whole thing, and yeah, they're slowly dying out.
That is neat. I wrote down his name because I was like, oh, that's a cool study. I don't think there's a lot of studies done on population. I mean, you can't really study humans because it's supposed to be inhumane, whatever.
Really? Who said this?
Humans.
Yeah, I guess. But also, like, this is the sort of dilemma that I have about, like, we are kind of stretching our resources out. We'll be at we'll be at like 9 billion in like what 20 years, I think, or something.
Stephen Hawking said something about like by the year 2025 we'll be at 11 billion.
Yeah, and right, yeah, this is this is also what I accidentally researched, but um, comfort capacity,
Mm.
the amount of space that a person can comfortably live, and with the deforestation and the the imperative to governments wanting to sort of put people in cities, like more people will live in cities,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure you've heard that people who live in cities, surrounded by thousands of people, tend to be less happy, right?
Yes.
So people are just going to be less happy, and I guess we can only hope for the rest of the world to experience what Japan is right now, to I guess sort of buffer the
The populace.
yeah, to help slow it down a bit, and maybe hopefully maybe Alex Jones was right about the water turn the frogs gay. Maybe we'll get more gay people. Um,
I feel
that
like
could help out.
the water is a little bit of a stretch, but
Turn the frogs gay.
you started just like Alex Jones.
Um, but I'm still kind of shaky on the abortion issue.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm all pro-choice, but it's your choice. Like I'm not.
But like, is it more is it inhumane to raise a child in this future that is uncertain?
I feel like that's every age, though. It's like in the brink of war, people still have children.
I suppose, but it's like, am I dooming them to suffer? Right. Also, um, by the year 2040, I think most of the commercial seafood that we eat, will be no more. Like we won't have that anymore at this rate.
Which is it's a good reason, I think. We shouldn't we shouldn't decrease the population of our oceans. I mean, there's an ecosystem there for a reason.
Right. And right, yeah. And the bees are vanishing. We don't know where they're going.
Maybe we should start like a beehive.
Maybe we can start. Yeah, it's some like I think Harvard or one of those universities are developing those
Electronic
bees. Yeah,
bees.
yeah.
There's isn't there a Black
Black Mirror,
Mirror
yeah.
episode about that? Yeah.
Let's hope they don't get hacked like
Wait,
that.
I think there's such a cool fine line between science fiction and actual science.
Hmm.
Like they both kind of influence each other.
Yeah, like cause like say something is science fiction, like someone might be inspired by that idea
Be like
and make it science fact.
science fiction, science fact.
Yeah, that's that's probably what we could call like old science fiction movies where the technology exists now are those are basically like documentaries almost, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a time in history where it was like, oh yeah, no, this was totally the reason why we have this today. I'm gonna use that from now on. Science fiction, science fact.
I don't get it.
So like whenever I like come up with like a fact and it's a science related fact, and be science fact. And then if I have a reason to talk about the science fiction of it, I'm gonna say
I would,
science
I would
fiction.
stop now. uh, wow. Yeah, population.
So what are your opinions on controlling the population, like one child limit?
Right. I was actually thinking about this, like the one child limit. I think that's pretty fair. I think that's okay.
I'm okay with it. I understand it, but we shouldn't, punish people for having more children.
Right, because twins, triplets, those things happen.
or maybe like IQ tests or parenting tests. Kind of like how we have to go get a license to have a car. Maybe we should have a license to have children.
Kids, have them, would they automatically be taken away and put into foster homes? Because, because I would imagine you have to have, like, some requirements would be, you have to bring in a certain income, you have to have, you have to have,
Like a parenting classes.
yeah.
Well, because like think about like with driver's ed, right? Like we're behind this, 80-mile-an-hour death machine, and the reason we have these is so we don't get on the roads and kill people. And I think it should be if you can teach, I don't know, maybe it should be like regulated that if you want to have a child, you have to be around other people that have children regularly for a long period of time before you actually are able to have children. And think about it in the future though, because like we'll probably be able to incubate children instead of actually birth them.
Hmm.
So if you want to have a child, you may be able to have a child in your 40s or in your 50s. And since we're living longer, then it might not be an issue.
Oh yeah, that's also a thing, longer life expectancy.
We got a lot going on for us right now. We're in this like weird time zone where we're in the twilight zone. We're not really sure what Alex Trebek is. No, wait, that's Jeopardy.
Alex Jones?
No, not Alex Jones.
Alex Ross?
It's definitely not any of those Alexes. I don't even think his name is Alex. I don't know why I said that.
Elon Musk?
Yeah, Elon Musk. Whatever Elon Musk wants us to think.
Yeah, some people actually think that the government is actually doing something to our food supply and stuff to make us little more barren and incapable of having children.
Now, I think that idea is a little bit silly because of all the food regulations that we have. FDA regulates
They're working for them.
So much.
That's it. They're working for them.
But it also has to do with the amount of antibiotics, the amount of hormones, everything that's being pumped into everything that we eat. I mean, I drink and eat a lot of soy, but I'm also a chick, so it's okay. But if you were to do it because you're a dude, it's a little bit different. Y'all gotta understand what you put in your bodies, man. That's about what it is.
Yes, but like fast food and like packaged food and stuff could be a little shaky, right? Because
it's a lot of chemicals.
Yeah, probably some stuff not too good for you, which could, whether the CDC or yes, no, not CDC, the
FDA?
Yeah, the FDA knows that these effects happen or not, may have an effect on your body in some way, which may affect something else in your body. Yeah, it's lots of possibilities. The unknown is uncertain. It's scary.
Maybe we should also just go paleo.
Was that just like leaves and stuff?
Yeah, it's like leaves and nuts, and berries, and if you eat meat, then I don't even think you're supposed to eat bread or cheese.
That's pretty much what we, because that could probably work.
I don't know if I could give up bread though. I'm too much of a fan of bread.
Do you have anything else?
I mean, there's a lot we could talk about as far as population goes, but
no, we may not get another opportunity, so we should exploit it.
Should we like press our opinions on it? Stop having kids.
That's not gonna happen.
I mean, if you do have kids,
just have one.
Just have one. Like we're Garrison and I, we're only children. We're quite blessed, I think.
Oh wait, we're what? We're
only children.
Oh, we're only children. Oh, okay, I get it. I thought you meant like we were only children, right? We're like we're only kids. Not that we're only kids.
So we're only kids.
Like I thought you were saying that we're only kids, so we shouldn't have kids because we're just kids
Oh
ourselves.
no, okay, that made make more sense. It probably sounds, less snobby.
Okay, but you're saying we're only kids and we turned out okay.
Yeah, we did.
If you say so.
Hmm.
Um, uh, yeah. Why don't you bring up your studies in class?
Oh, okay. So cool information about population, and one of them has to do with the population in places like India and Africa. In a lot of places in Africa, the child population is 10 times I don't know, probably 50 times the population of the adults, because adults don't live long on that continent. They don't live long. And it's due to, diseases, malnutrition, lack of resources, a whole plethora of issues that Africa faces day to day. And we've been recently studying this, and it's probably the saddest thing I could ever imagine. And it makes me want to go and volunteer there just so I can at least experience what they're going through. Because these people make $1 a day and have 5 to 6 children in a family where the mother is abandoned by the husband or the father. So she is led to raise the children, and eventually she dies at an early age because she can't take care of herself anymore. And it's just, I think it's a sad experience to have to live life like that, because it's a lot of children and they don't get to go to education. They don't get to go to school very often. And they're often made to work from a young age so that they can at least support themselves enough to eat.
Yeah, I was watching this documentary. It's called "A Slave by Any Other Name,"
Hmm.
and it's about like the chocolate companies um, that that outsource their work to Africa, and they actually like steal kids and stuff to work as labor for them. And basically, the chocolate company's hands are clean because it's
In another country.
yeah, it's in another country, and they're only like taking the chocolate that they gather. They're not actually employing the workers and stuff. So um, yeah, they're being worked long hours and
Not being paid.
not being, they're only kids. They're taken away. They not fed all that well. Yeah, 'cause like in Africa, sexual education really isn't taught, and there's lots of d disease
Nor is
and
hygiene.
hmm?
Hygiene. A lot of times, like, one of the biggest things that I researched when I was writing a paper for this class that discussed it was talking about how water contamination was such a huge issue, and it's a lot to do with how they will pour their sewage into their drinking water and then recycle it. And it's just, it's a big mess out there. And then they don't wash their hands. They'll probably end up eating or drinking some of their own fecal matter.
Can we end this on a positive note?
Yeah, no, we definitely can. So things to look forward to. In population growth, you will probably end up having sex with somebody with herpes.
Yeah, like Texas is like no like Austin is really like Austin is like one of the main uh like STD ridden like cities, I believe. Yeah, so just a warning if you're headed to Austin, or if you live there, that's something to look forward to.
Or if we have any listeners from Austin. With 11 billion people on the planet, we could always resort to cannibalism, do the whole Soylent Green thing. When the people get old, we can just start eating them.
Yeah, your also precious uh meat and stuff will probably be long gone, so then you'd probably be forced to take on a different lifestyle, or eat lab grown meat and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, these are all things that you can look forward to. Less space in your home. Your family's gonna have to live with you.
Doesn't seem so bad, does it?
Oh,
Seems great.
I like my mom. She's okay.
Um, anyway, thanks for listening to the MSG podcast. No, wait, this isn't MSG.
This is the theory
Oh,
of.
that's right. That's right. The theory of population. Uh, Catch us on Patreon. You can get the next two um, podcasts right now. And next week we have Souls. That should be interesting. Um,
Maybe we can bring on a guest speaker, find somebody we can
yeah.
sneak in here. Also, if you are interested, please listen to us on SoundCloud. All of our previous podcasts are on there, except for the ones that are Patreon exclusive. We look forward to seeing your comments and critiques because we're not exactly the best at this, but we try.
Yeah, we try. Yep. So catch you later.